Greetings YouTube, I'm Digikai. It's been a while since my last review and I noticed an interesting trend.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Exactly, I've been reviewing a lot of old games. How about we talk about a new one? Let's talk Pokemon. That's right, Pokemon, the series made by Game Freak in 1996 that made Nintendo explode onto the handheld market and also gave birth to lots and lots of Tamagotchi pets. Oh, and it's also an anime about Tuck Everlasting and a manga that's spiraling his fist to the North Star, but enough about that, let's talk the games. Pokemon has been around almost since the beginning of time. From red to black, it has given us a thing to look forward to every time a new one comes out, and it does without little to no changing of the core gameplay. It's like Call of Duty, even saying that makes me pain. I mean, the evolution of such a simple yet complicated way of gameplay is beautiful to see, especially if you played the game since the beginning, when they all look like they were drawn in MS Paint. So, even though Game Freak has done every one of these things right, one has to ask themselves, how do you make it 10 times better? That's when Pokemon X and Y come in. The 3DS games that have recently come out this past month has achieved my expectation to the max, and it broke it off the charts. The way it plays, the way it looks, even some of the Pokemon look like they're not put out by third graders. It's beautiful, but that's just the surface of it. Let's dive into Pokemon X and Y. Note, I'm going to be using trailers and short snippets of videos from Nintendo to show gameplay. Why? Because here's my other alternative. The first thing I want to talk about is the only thing that changes in Pokemon games. The story. Actually, if I argue, it might borrow some elements from Pokemon Black and White. First of all, you don't really have a rival. I mean, you do, but you don't. Instead, you get to meet these kids. Serena, Tierno, Trevor, and Shauna. You get to battle Serena and Shauna once in a while these two, I don't know, go get ice cream or something. Anyways, with no spoilers, the story is what you've been doing for the past 5 games. Defeat the gym leader, train your Pokemon, beat the Elite Four, and become champion. Nothing else has changed, except with Team Rocket being now Team Flare and the game having
the biggest plot twist of the century.
Anyways, with that in mind, the actual story, believe it or not, is more than just what the surface is. Sure, it's awfully built up too slow and you won't even get to see them fashionistas for a while since you start. However, when everything ties up, it does a really good job in sort of explaining. And I use the word sort of because they just kinda throw the shit at you at the same damn time. But it's still good and satisfying when you finish it. Even though it's not as well as built up like Black and White, it still ties in well and sure makes you feel all the feels in the end. Anyways, moving on, we have everyone's favorite topic in a Pokemon game, the Pokemon! That's right, the new generation of Pokemon. Oh god, I'm excited. I haven't been this excited since I saw Vanillite, Garbodor, and Clink. Let's see what this generation has in store. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much. Though seriously speaking, the designs of 6th gen, I can say, is a great improvement from 5th gen. These French Pokemon are just lively and they're more interesting. However, like in any Pokemon game, it can range from really freaking cool to retarded. I mean, these designs are good and excellent. I don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone should go buy Pokédex 3D and Pokemon Conquest. What we're talking about? Oh yeah, right, the new next gen Pokemon. Well, I think I got enough out of my chest on their designs. How about we talk about the biggest change 6th gen brought to the mechanics? Fairies! An actual type in Pokemon that is super effective against dragons, because that completely makes sense. But seriously, the inclusion of fairy types changed Pokemon competitively completely. It made some Pokemon that were normal types fairy. It made them more resistant to other attacks. Hell, not even dragons can touch it. Fairies are like powerhouses. My only problem with this is there's like 2 fairy moves in the entire game. Yeah guys, I know there's still more, but we're still lagging. Hell, Xerneas is a fairy type and the best he got was Geomancy, an attack that boosts your stats. Damn, Yveltal has Oblivion Wing, and Xerneas gets Geomancy. Yeah, fairies. Pokemon X and Y also introduced the improvement on one concept, EXP sharing. Instead of sharing half of your EXP with one Pokemon, it shares them to all, everyone getting the same amount of EXP. It makes Pokemon training way easier and way less time consuming. Not to leave out the Mega Evolutions. Alright, you had to expect that reference already. Even though the double-edged sword Game Freak had opened with Mega Evolutions, I say they really are done well. Sure, there's some that are stronger than others, but the difference isn't detrimental that every time someone activates it, the other person gets screwed. It just adds another layer of strategy to competitors and even some new types and stats to Pokemon. Aside from that, Pokemon X and Y didn't fall for the same traps Black and White and even Ruby and Sapphire had. They actually added other gen Pokemon without the need of beating the game. That's great. Aside from getting the first gen starters, you can finally feel nostalgic if you play the older games and get those Pokemon you know and love. Used to add more sugar in your tea, Game Freak also added Friend Safaris, which practically opens up all Pokemon. Yeah, also, you can even get starters, Pokemon that aren't in the game, even Dittos. Anything is possible with Friend Safari. It's also an excellent feature to get people to be more social in the game, and it worked. Aside from the player search feature that makes it easier to interact with others, Game Freak has also added other features to the bottom screen. Pokemon Ami and Super Training if you want to be more specific. Pokemon Ami, well, it's basically this. Except it actually helps your Pokemon and be more attached to you, which means boosted stats, EXP points, and evolutions. Super Training is actually great, because it basically makes a concept that not even calculus students can understand and dumps it down to mini-games. I know it doesn't quite help you completely, but it's a huge help for EV training and just boosting up your Pokemon stats. Aside from trading in Pokemon gyms and breeding them like cattle to get what you want. Talking about Pokemon gyms, the towns tie in pretty well, with a good distance between them, letting you take in all of the features the new Pokemon region has to offer, like boutiques and plenty of hidden items. Boutiques lets you change your character's clothes for the first time ever. That means no one's going to look the same. Finally. There's a lot they could have done still, like adding hairstyles and more clothes, but this is a right step in the right direction. There's also small changes to the gameplay, like adding 8 directions and different perspectives when you enter a room, to even riding a Pokemon and getting roller skates. All of these features are great and satisfying to use, not to mention it makes this game stand out from your average Pokemon game, and it makes it become more alive. It also helps it become a Pokemon game that would appeal to anyone. The presentation is also beautiful. I mean, I really didn't get as annoyed seeing the anime drawn version of Schoolboy Andy here, like I was in Pokemon Fire Red. Not to mention they really avoided repetition and really made the trainers' battles more enjoyable to fight. Especially with the new EXP All feature that motivates you to actually fight them. Not to leave out the optional Sky battles, those are really cool too. And the Horde attacks, they're something. I almost forgot one important detail, the music. The music personally for me was one of the things I look forward to aside from the actual game in Pokemon games. Why? Because they seem to blow expectations. Just using their soundboards, YouTube artists have done various remixes and remakes. It makes it sound amazing. Hell, the original 8-bit sounds amazing. So my expectations were great. And it was average. Maybe it's my own personal opinion, but I just didn't feel it in this one. I mean, I felt it in Emerald. Hell, yeah, I even felt it in Diamond and Pearl. They retained the epic soundtrack. Black and White was above average. Even in Black 2, Iris' soundtrack was decent. However, with this one, it felt as if something was missing. Maybe it's the different soundboard in the whole new system. I mean, there are some scores I enjoy, especially the ones used when the game's trying to be sensitive. Even the credit song was good. I don't really dislike it. However, the rest I just felt towards it. So that was Pokemon X and Y. Above all, it's more than just an average Pokemon game. It brings a lot of different stuff to the table, more than the others. The graphics on the 3DS looks amazing and the world looks alive. The Pokemon Stadium type of battling is perfect. The transition from DS to 3DS was more than a smooth one, and I'm looking forward to what Nintendo has in store for Pokemon. I'm Digikai, and I approve this message. Signing off.